Google Educator Group of South Texas, GEG.SOUTX.US. Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Today we have a lot of stuff to cover, and as soon as people join in, we'll let them in as well. But the main thing here is going to be covering some Google updates that I'm not sure if you saw the big event that happened, Learn with Google, a few months ago, a few weeks ago. And if you didn't, that's okay. We're going to talk about some of those today. Earlier, according to how I see my screen, Tammy Dawson, hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. Thank you so much for being here. I know you're driving, so I'm not going to call on you. Veronica Guerra, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, my name is Veronica Guerra, and I'm a teacher at GEG, and I'm here to join you this week.
Thank you so much. Felicia Torres, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, I hope you can hear me pretty well. I'm on the go right now, but I've got my laptop with me. So I am a secondary ELA teacher at Sherwin North Junior High. I also was recently certified as a Google trainer, so I'm super excited to hear about all these new updates.
That's awesome. Okay, Maggie, I'm going to skip you real quick, and I'm going to get the members out before I start with leadership. Frederick, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Frederick Ballou. I'm actually in Minnesota, but I do a GEG there, and I like to see how a successful one is run. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. So Mel, let's see. Okay. So Mel, I just got your message. Thank you so much for being here. I won't call on you. Okay. So Maggie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Maggie Ojeda, and I'm a co-leader here at the South Texas GEG. A little bit about me. I recently became a high school assistant principal. I was at Region 1 for Region 1 Education Service Center. Frederick, you're from Minnesota, so I don't know what they're called over there, but in Texas, they're called Regional Service Center, and there's 20 of them. So I belonged to Region 1 for about 6 years. But I've been in my new role as a high school assistant principal in the trenches with my beautiful and wonderful teachers for about a month now. And so a lot of new learning that's happening, but I'm excited to be here with you all. And yes, there's a lot of new updates, Felicia, like you said. So I'm excited to hear them too, because I've been on the go and trying to read in between. And so it's great to have a space like this so that we can connect and see what's going on with Google and our some of our favorite tools.
All right, awesome. And finally, I'm Mr. G. The G is not for Google, but it fits. And I am also one of the co-leaders. And I just want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. I am a teacher also at La Jolla ISD, and also part of Region 1. So, and I'm not sure if you can see my shirt. Google Certified Trainer and Innovator. So that's awesome. And
but I want one of those shirts, Carlos.
Well, you just gotta apply, right?
I haven't done it. Let's do it, Felicia. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta apply. I had to pivot, so I'm gonna change my whole. I had a whole idea as to what to do, but it's not gonna be something that can be done in just a few days. And I was gonna look for my cap. I don't know where I left my cap. I thought I had it here with me, but either way. So I'm gonna pivot on my project, which means that I'm gonna change what I was gonna do to something different, and I got it approved, and we'll go from there. Hopefully it helps. For right now, I'll keep it a secret, but hopefully by the next time we meet, it's gonna be available as a Chrome extension. All right. So yes, let's get started. Maggie, you wanted to talk about the branding, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I did. But before we do, I wanted to know if you all were interested in doing How Are You Tonight on a scale of cat. So I'm going to put a link in the chat, and it's a gem. So let me go to present, and let's see my entire window. Let me make sure I'm picking up the right window, and then we're gonna go. I think you can see now. You can see my screen.
Yes.
Awesome. So how's everyone doing tonight on a scale of cat? So these I got them from Stephanie Howe. I think her gig. I don't know where Stephanie's from now. I first met Stephanie Howe at ISTE. We were doing tech Sam, who I think her handle is tech 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 y'all. Sam introduced like a whole bunch of us, and we got together at ISTE, and we presented on I think it was like an ed tech coach, like SmackDown or something like that. So I didn't really realize that it was like a SmackDown. But anyway, that's where I met Stephanie, and she shared all of these with me. But if you want to add a post-it, one of y'all put a little 3 down there. I should have given some instructions, right? But if you want to add a little post-its, or you can do a little text box like this, and then just put your name. And yes, I feel like a 3. There you are, Frederick. Give your number. So on a scale of cat, if you like these, I can share them in our Slack. Stephanie shared a bunch of them with me. I've been using them with my teachers. On Tuesdays, I do a thing called Power Tuesday. And so, and I thinking of dinner, right? Me too, Felicia. Uh, so, so they've been working really nice for just a check-in. There's a whole list of them that Stephanie shared with me. So I'll add those in our Slack if you like them. But I just wanted to see how everyone's doing tonight on a scale of cat. We have this thing going on, right, Carlos, with cats or something. I don't know. Is there something going on with our group with cats? Thank you for sharing on a scale of cat. How are you feeling? So I want to talk to you all a little bit about this Google Rebrand Toolkit that recently came out just last month. And so this is our Google Educator group, and this rebranding toolkit is for us, people that are members of a Google Educator group. And I know like Felicia just shared with me that she recently became a Google certified trainer. And so like in our area, I know like Frederick's visiting us from Minnesota. But I don't think I've met I had seen or met hi Catherine. I met Catherine. But I don't think I've met Tammy yet or Mel. But welcome you all. I may have missed a meeting where I didn't get to meet you, but so in our area, I think in South Texas, we may already have maybe around 12 certified Google trainers. And that happened in the last 5 years. So it's on the rise. We may already be at around 15. I think the last one I had heard was Wendy from Sherryland also. So I know Felicia's from Sherryland. So so our number is increasing, but this tool set or this slide deck that I'm sharing, if you're on the agenda, it's right here. It's called Google Rebrand Toolkit. It was shared to the Google trainers, but it's not like NDA or anything like that. This is just a toolkit available not just for trainers. We have people in here that are always offering. That's one thing about the Google Educator community. We're about learning and growing together, and Google does put together slide decks that can be shared among us. So since you all are part of this GEG, I'm sharing the link with you all through our agenda. So this rebrand toolkit is to help us be able to transition and move and edit some of the documents and the things that we use when we ourselves are using Google. And when we're presenting, I know like as a trainer, we have to have, I think, is it 12, Carlos, documented sessions in order to recertify every year? I think
Yes.
it's 12. Yeah. So the purpose of this slide deck is it's Google Workspace for Education, formerly known as G Suite for Education. So remember when it was Google for Education, and then it became G Suite for Education, and now it's called Google Workspace for Education. So we do have a new name. This document is a resource intended to help us, not just all of us, understand what's changing, how to update our materials, that are outdated with the G Suite information and logos, and communicate to you all. That's what we're doing right now. So what's changing? This is just a table of contents. I'm gonna show you the new logo, and then where you can get them, and then where you can download them, and about co-branding, how to talk about Google products, and at the very end there's an asset checklist and an FAQ. Just go right quick. So what is changing? The new name and the logo. So G Suite for Education now has a new name, Google Workspace for Education. Although the name has changed, our commitment to providing your community or our community is simple with a flexible tool. So everything stays the same pretty much. I'm not going to read you the whole slide. But the big thing here is the name, Google Workspace for Education. That is the new name. So the new Google Workspace for Education logo looks like this. So the one on the left is the old logo, and the one on the right is the new one. So with access to, and once again, you do have access to the slide deck because you're part of the GEG. This is proprietary, and it is a public slide deck available for Google educator groups and trainers as well. So anyhow, the logo on the right is the new one. So these are the new product icons. So the one on the left are the old G Suite for Education product icons, and the ones on the right are the new ones. So if you wanted to download these and start rebranding your slides that you use when you present, you can get the download by clicking right here on the word here. So if you notice, the ones on the left are the old ones, and the ones on the right are the new ones. So there are some changes. So here they are. What do you think? Which one is the most extreme change from all those product icons? Let me look at the chat. I've been calling it Google G Workspace Suite for Education. Oops, Frederick from Minnesota. That is a big complicated name. I've probably been doing the same thing for a while, but we do have to make sure we're saying the right thing. Calendar, yeah, let me look back. Let me come back over here. Calendar looks very different. And let's see, look at Mail or Gmail. Neat, right?
The mix of colors are just
confusing. A mix of colors. Okay. Let me move over. So Google Workspace for Education edition. So starting in April, there's actually going to be 4 editions of Google Workspace, so you can choose what you need to best serve your organization. So, you know, I always say, like, Google had a head start over everyone else with cloud productivity, right? So even before our friends, because hey, I do love Office 365 too. Now I'm not gonna say that too loud, but this is being recorded. So maybe there's a way you can scrub that, Carlos. Just kidding. But Google was free, right? And so a lot of our districts, I don't know, it's at the regional center, a lot of our districts were bringing in the products. And that was just the freebies. So the freebie is now called Education Fundamental. Formerly known as G Suite for Education. It is a free suite, easy to use tools. So then now there is one called Education Standard. So that one, it comes with enhanced security. I'm only going to read the bolded parts. You're going to have access to the whole slide deck. Then right underneath, this one's new. It's called Teaching and Learning Upgrade. So the Teaching and Learning Upgrade enhances the educator's instructional impact. So there is enhanced video communication on Meet, and enriched class experiences and tools. And so, and it does say academic integrity. So I'm thinking that it's those checks for when kiddos are cheating. I'm drawing a blank right now, but Now in Google Docs, you can kind of run, and you get a limited amount. What is it called?
Originality reports.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. That was that, Catherine.
Like a plagiarism checker.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you all. So I'm thinking based on that, that there may be, because right now when you use those, you have a limited amount. So I'm thinking that probably at this level of this education edition, the teaching and learning upgrade, you get unlimited access. But this is the information we have available to us right now. So the last one's called Education Plus. So that one's formerly known as G Suite Enterprise for Education. So before we only had this level, the top one, and we had the bottom. So the bottom is like the Cadillac of the editions. So being that we're a Google Educator group and we're about sharing information that's new regarding these tools, now you know what are the different types of Google Workspaces that will be available out there in case you're asked, right? Because you are part of this GEG. You're going to walk away very informed. So next, updating your content. So on this slide, it says using the Google Workspace for education logos and icons. The following slides contain links to download new logos and icons. We provided usage guidelines and a checklist. It does say by updating your materials, you'll help your students, your followers, your communities, and your trainees better understand the tools you're referencing and ensure that your communications are clear and consistent with other information online. The new name and logos are rolling out, and it says here today that that was back in February. So you can update your material whenever you're ready to do so. So these are ready to go for you, so you can begin to use them already. So on this slide, which is slide number 11, if you want to download the logos, you can go here to the word here. And this is the primary logo, should be used whenever possible. This is the secondary, can be used on light backgrounds. And the one on the right, this secondary logo can be used on dark backgrounds. And logo uses, including but not limited to, digital website, social media, teacher certifications, school district intranet, print, handouts, onboarding material, one-pager, resources, letterhead, and templates. It's okay to use them even on email templates and signatures. So it's okay to use the logos for that. For materials about multiple education products. For example, the Workspace Plus Chromebook. Here are the other different types of logos that you can use. This one's very important. What to avoid when using Google Workspace for education logos. Here are a few examples of what not to do. So as you can see, there's been a change of color. On this one, it was resized. On this one, they use a primary color and it's competing with the logo. And over here, it's on dark color background. Here, using the logo over photography and a pattern background. So these, they tell us to avoid these just to make sure that we can ensure the consistency and the legibility of the logo. These are other examples of what to avoid, since now you have access to this for your training material and for products that you are using in your class and or with training. It's important just to avoid these other type of no-nos. So avoid rotating or altering. Avoid placing the lockup over busy imagery, similar to the photo. Placing graphics within the lockup clear space. Using lockup that's too small. Avoid the full color lockup on the background. This one looks like it's fading in. Using a lockup in a copy, so text on top, text on the bottom. So here are some animations that you have access to now as well. You click on here, you'll get access to this GIF, and this is an MP4. This actually shows all of the string of icons. So do use this 5 icon lockup when the Google for Workspace for Education logo is redundant or otherwise not ideal. So this is another one you can use. Make sure there's plenty of space between any other text or logos in this 5 icon lockup. It does tell us to avoid blending both logos together over here on the right. So with co-branding, we are allowed to do that if you're going to showcase a partnership. So if you are an actual company that has a partnership with Google, because this slide deck is also for companies that are partnered with Google. That's what it's saying here. It is telling us though to avoid one logo on top of the other, so they have to be side by side. When we're referencing Google products, this is very, very important. So Gmail is actually G with a capital G and the word mail, not capital G, capital M, mail, or Google's mail. So we're going to be using the right vocabulary word.
Google doesn't
Google
smell.
Drive or just Drive. We're not going to call it G Drives or Google's Drives or Google's Drive. This one is Google's or Google Workspaces collaborative content creation tools. Whoa. Say that 5 times. Like docs, slides, sheets, etc. That's what this is here. So we're not going to call them docs or editors. Google Meet. Here we go. Now y'all can throw the tomato at me. Do not call it meets with an S. Look, it's telling us here on this screen, guys. It's time. It's time to break up with the making meat plural. What do y'all think about that one? Google is telling us no more. All right.
If I
so
can interject real quick, I'm
Yeah,
not sure if you
go ahead.
saw that Gmail, and the second one, I'm sure that they really thought about that one. They made sure that it didn't say Google Smell.
That's funny. I didn't think about that. Well, I hope don't call it Google Smell. But on Google Meet, it's Google Meet, not Google Meets, or Google's Google Meet, or Google's Meet, or Google Hangouts Meet. It's just Google Meet. And the last one, Google Calendar, or just Calendar, not Google's Cal, or G-Cal, or G-Calendar. So here's just referencing Google products continued. I'm just gonna leave it here at your leisure, so we can crack some jokes later. But they're just really going out and just making sure that we're referencing the products correctly. They are really big advocates of sharing and allowing just anyone really can train on any Google product, and they're okay with it. But these are the things that they're just making sure that that we follow and that we have a consistency. Once again, just to ensure that that credibility of the logo and the brand. We're coming to the end already. This is called an asset checklist. The purpose of this is to help you identify places that might mention G Suite for education or the use of old logos. So these are places where you can go to check to see if you have some of the old branding. So you can fix those assets or those products to include the new branding material. Okay. And here's just a real quick FAQ. I'm not going to go through it. And that is it for me. Whoa.
Awesome.
That was a mouthful, Carlos. How was that, Catherine? Good. Yay. Wait, I had not looked through all that slide deck yet. I saw it coming in, but I had not looked at it. So I hope it's helpful for you all. And that's it for me, Mr. G.
All right. Okay, so some few members joined in. I don't know if any of you would like to introduce yourselves. Raise your hand on the chat. Guess I don't think I have the raised hand feature. So on the chat, just say if you would like to introduce yourself, those of you that just joined in or those of you that are available right now. Okay, Catherine.
Hello, everyone. I am Kathy Hobart. I'm an instructional technology specialist and trainer in San Antonio, Texas.
Awesome. All right. Who else do I have just joining us? Okay. Hello, Mel. So from Cali, Colombia.
Wait, I think we've met Mel before, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, Mel.
what I was saying before. I was saying that I remember you said you were going to move into your new role, and everyone's like, "Ooh, so exciting!" And then all of this, and you're actually in there now. So I'm sure it's like pretty epic and crazy, but at the same time, and
Oh my goodness! Now I wish we could go to a breakout room. I would tell you.
anyways, yeah, I was getting lost.
Awesome. Gabby, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi. I don't have my camera on. I'm got a little headache, minor headache, but I am from Solomon City, and I teach at La Jolla ISD, so I'm a great teacher.
Awesome. Thank you. Tammy, I'm not sure if you're okay to introduce yourself yet or still driving. Okay, I'll take it as still driving. All right, so now what I wanted to cover are the updates, the ones that there's a lot of updates that happened, and I only have 30 minutes, so I hope I can do it within less of that. So here it goes. I'm gonna probably overlap one thing that Maggie covered, and it's just something that I didn't like about the new update, but I'm sure you'll see why. Let me start first with Grasshopper. If you know what Grasshopper is, it's the coding app for those that want to learn how to code, and it's now available in Spanish. If you use an Android phone, if you use a Google Pixel phone, specifically, you probably know about the new Recorder app. Automatically transcribes everything and all that good stuff. You can now save that to the cloud, and the website is recorder.google.com. So once you record it on your phone, it automatically saves it to the cloud. Now, here's the one. There's 3 tiers with 2 possible upgrades. The ones that Maggie was saying, the fundamental, the standard, and the plus. Now, the fundamental is the one that you know right now, but the storage will be limited. That is going to be one of the big setbacks starting June 2022. It's going to be only 100 terabytes total, meaning within your whole organization, only 100 terabytes. So,
Yikes! That's major.
yeah.
Wait, it's in June 2020, you said? I put it there on the
2022.
chat. Oh my God. Okay.
June
So they have a
2022.
year.
Yes, we have a year. So that's one of the
Did
big
they
ones.
talk about the cost yet, Carlos?
Yes, the cost. So the free one is free. The standard is $3 per student, not per teacher, per student per year. That one is also limited to 100 terabytes. The standard is just security updates, audits, rules, things that have to do with the administrative side. And by administrative, I'm talking about technology administration, not
Wait, so you
school.
said you said Go? You say Go drives and Go mail and Go? I don't believe you.
Yeah, all the time. That's how I introduce it to my students. And it's pronounced Google. I mean, I don't know if or where.
It's in Google.
All right. So the standard is just administrative stuff. Okay. So if you want more storage, then you have the teaching and learning upgrade. This will be available for teachers. Right. One of the things is that students have unlimited storage. So that's one of the main problems with what's going on. And they figured we need to cut back on everything that we're providing because we're providing a lot and not making money out of it, out of the fundamental. So I'm guessing that's why. I have no idea, but you can upgrade the teachers with the teacher and learning upgrade. So if you have the fundamental, you can do an extra $4 per license per year for only those teachers that need it. Or same thing for the standard, $4 per license per year. And it doesn't have to be just teachers, of course. It's just teaching and learning upgrade that could include administrators, technology department, or whoever needs it. So that's the teaching and learning upgrade. Those, you can upgrade the fundamental or the standard for specific people in your school district. If you do have the upgrade, you will be able to have 250 active participants and 10,000 stream viewers or passive participants. Right now, for the fundamental, for example, you have only 100 active participants with no streaming service. The teaching and learning upgrade will have some classroom upgrades. One of them is going to be the add-ons. The add-ons are coming soon. And the plus, that one is a combination of standard, or a combination of all of them. Whatever the fundamentals have, plus the upgrade of the standard, plus the upgrade of the upgrade. So that one's going to be in the plus. But instead of 10,000 streaming participants, you can have 100,000 streaming participants. $5 per student per year. Okay, so that's the one that I was going to overlap because I had a little bit of extra information as far as the pricing and how the tiers work. And there's this thing called cloud solutions. Cloud solutions, it's think of it as a virtual desktop where you can run Photoshop, AutoCAD, all virtually using a Chromebook. So these things are something that needs to be installed on a Windows computer normally, but it's very difficult to run on a Chromebook because there's no installation software for Chromebooks, and it's just too heavy. So you would have to log in remotely to this virtual desktops that have the programs like Photoshop, AutoCAD, and so on. And that cloud solutions has a lot more stuff for, and that's more on the administrative side, where providing support, answers, and questions with virtual agents and so on. And here's some things that are coming to Google Classroom that many of us have been looking forward to, which is the rich text format, RTF. Not for Google Forms, but at least for Google Classrooms, it's coming soon. Originality reports now available in new languages. But the one that I'm excited about is using the Android app. You can submit work by scanning papers using the phone camera. So if you've used the Google Drive app on your Android in the past, then you know what I'm talking about. You've been able to scan documents using your phone. If you're using the app on an iPad or an iPhone, oh well, what can I say? Classroom Android app will be able to save stuff offline. So now you can use the Classroom Android app to, well, I don't know about right now. I don't know exactly, but it's coming soon if it's not available yet. And this is for students that normally don't have the bandwidth or don't have internet access. They can always have access whenever they're available to have internet. It synchronizes, and then they continue working at home using the Android app. When they submit, it doesn't really get submitted, but once they have internet access again, everything synchronizes again, and everything is posted to the cloud. And there will be things to track student engagement. Okay, so then there's this thing called Google CS First. I really enjoy that one, and I really enjoy the updates that it has. If you have ever used CS First, it uses this program called Scratch, all web-based. And now it integrates Scratch within the CS First platform, making things so much simpler to if you're using it in class, to grade. The students don't have to have multiple accounts. So those are awesome things that are happening in CS First. Google Meet, singular, is having some awesome upgrades. One of the things that just got updated is ending the meeting for all. At La Jolla, we received that update, and that was awesome. But for those of you that are paying for the breakout rooms, soon, if not already available, it also going to end all meetings, including breakout rooms. You're going to have the ability eventually to mute all and prevent them from unmuting themselves. Now, right now on the Google Meet app, it's very difficult to make changes, but pretty soon that's going to get upgraded so that there's more control of the Google Meet using your phone. I'm not sure if you've seen the raise your hand on Google Meet. Soon, it's no, actually, I already saw that in La Jolla ISD. If you click on it, it gives you a bunch of icons at the bottom and a bunch of emojis. One of them is the applause emoji. So when somebody's talking, instead of raising their hand to ask a question, you can just send an applause emoji. So that one's cool. I think last time we talked about live captions in new languages, that it was going to be available in Spanish. I think we tried it out, but there's more languages coming soon for live captions. Attendance report, I think that's a paid feature. And breakout rooms is a paid feature, but it will soon be available on Google Calendar. So you can separate people using the Google Calendar breakout room feature. So that's going to be a good one. Again, that's a paid version, so it might be different. The next thing I want to talk about is, let me see, time. Okay, I'm trying to get through them as fast as possible, but there's quite a few here. Okay, so Google Chromebook has had it's the 10, when was it? 10 years, turned 10 years, March 9th. On March 9th, the Chromebooks turned 10 years. The Chrome OS. So this is something to celebrate because it's something that has been an awesome experience for many students that were not previously able to purchase a computer, to do so with the understanding that it was going to be specifically mainly for schoolwork, right? But it was something that they were able to use and afford. However, I just got the update, and one of the awesome things about the new update is that it has a built-in screen recorder. If I hold Control Shift and that square with 2 lines or rectangle with 2 lines, usually it's above the 6 on the Chromebook, it gives you an option to take a screenshot, select an area to take a screenshot of a specific window, or record the screen, which I really love Screencastify, but sometimes it's limited on what I can do, especially the free version. And now that they have it available for free on Chromebooks, might as well.
Hey, Carlos, are you
Yes.
sharing your screen or you're just kind of chatting with us?
I'm just chatting with y'all.
I knew it. Yeah, okay. I'm like, So, but I wondered. Okay, we're just wondering. We're talking about you on the chat while you're talking. Just kidding. No, we're not. It was Gabriella, okay? Gabriella is the one that pushed me, yeah, to ask. I'm just kidding with you, Carlos. All right, keep going. You're on a roll.
Okay, Maggie, you keep looking at the chat. Please interrupt me if you need to. I'm just trying to cover things as fast as I can, and I don't want to miss something by mistake. So I do have like these bullet points that I'm covering, so that's what I'm reading, and then I talk about those bullet points. But I mean, it's kind of boring showing text. So, all right. So, one of the things that is going to be amazing for the technology department is this thing called pre-provisioned tokens for zero-touch enrollment. Should I say that 3 times? Pre-provisioned tokens for zero-touch enrollment. Okay. 1 is enough, or 2 is enough. So let me explain what that is. What it means is that you create this thing called a pre-provisioned token. Let's call it a token for short. The token is then given to your vendor. Your vendor uses that token to automatically enroll the Chromebooks before shipment. So by the time they arrive to your school district, they have already been provisioned. So that is a new update for Chromebooks.
Is that included with the cost?
That is a good question.
I mean, just that it's an option is already awesome.
Yes.
I mean, the amount of time that it takes to do that. But if they're already kind of reminds me of that white glove service, right? The white glove service where you don't really have to do anything. You just kind of just boom. The labels are on there. It's already has the tags and all of that. So that's great, Carlos.
I mean, I doubt that it's included, but I'm sure there's some extra cost to it. Remember, free is not a business model, so I'm surprised that Google was able to keep up with free for such a long time. All right, and the last one is Jamboard. And for that one good thing, one bad thing about the good thing is that it will have, or if it doesn't already have, version history, which is something that Jamboard was lacking. Still, it does not have who created the changes in that Jamboard. So there's still that thing about it does have version history. You can always go back to whichever version of the jam that you created, but who made those changes, that is still a mystery, and that is still not good if you work in middle school. Okay, that's it. There was one more thing, and Before that, let's take a quick break to chat about the oh so many things, and I'll start reading the chat to see what I missed. Okay, let's see. Form to sign in. You know what? I haven't done a sign in quite a long time, but thank you, Maggie, for.
Carlos, I added the sign in that you usually place on our other agendas onto the chat.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I got you, bud.
Yeah, I always keep forgetting about that. Okay, let's see. Okay, so GEG South Texas shirts or swag. The whole point of the GEG is to not sell. We are not supposed to promote, like, for example, I can promote my podcast because it's free, right? You can listen to it, you don't have to pay for it. But if I provide a training where I'm charging, at that moment I can no longer promote it. So if that were to happen, I would have to ask, and I wouldn't know who to ask to begin with, how could we create swag for our gig? It would be awesome. I would really like to create something for us, but I wouldn't know.
Like the global GEG's got swag. They've got hoodies and T-shirts that you can order, so I'm sure it's allowed. I ordered it.
Yeah, Captain. I think we can probably, or Carlos, like get it done, but we'll have to pay for it ourselves. I think using our branding.
Yeah, the members, we all paid for our own. You was like $30 for a hoodie, but it's got. I keep looking at your logo on your shirt, Carlos, and I was like, that would be like a really cool gag shirt. Like,
yeah,
That's his innovator shirt, Kathy.
oh,
I'm like peanut butter and jelly when he wears it. This is the closest thing that I have.
Wait, let me show you my socks. Oh, never mind.
Here.
Are you wearing your socks today, Maggie?
I'm not. No,
I'm in
my
PJs,
toes-
so I don't want to show you my
we went to
socks.
We went to the zoo today in the beach, so I needed to wear flip flops to recover.
Okay, so if Global Gig is doing it, what I can do is create one at no cost to members. Custom ink. Okay, we'll create one at no extra cost, just whatever it takes for them to make it and ship it. But we cannot charge extra for expenses. Just as an example. Yeah, go ahead.
So sorry to butt in, but I was trying to come up with the coach swag because they haven't made it yet. So and you can do that through custom ink and then set it up so that you can just sell from the site. So you don't make any money. You just because you've already got like the JPEG of that. It's super easy to do, and then just send a link out to everyone, and they buy it themselves. So the only money that's being exchanged is people paying for it themselves. So it's super slick, really easy. They set it up for this sort of thing, usually like sports shirts and junk.
Okay. So that's one of the things that I'll just create something like that through custom ink that is just at cost, whatever it takes them to make it. But thank you so much. We'll look into that.
Look, and the ones that Global Gag have are only $13 for the shirt, and $25 for the hoodie.
The more people who buy
They
it,
have the long sleeve too.
yeah, the price goes down, I guess, the more the people that buy.
Nice. Okay. Great
website.
idea.
The website, by the way, GEG.SOUTX.us. That's an extra expense that comes out of leaders' money, leaders' pocket. And I cannot ask you to to pay for or make donations for that, for example. Yes, we can't request things like that, but if it's at cost and you're willing to pay for that, I'll just make it at cost. We cannot make money out of this. Maybe further in the future, there's a way to create a 501c3, but other than that, yes, I can create pins using what's it called? There's this website I use for stickers. But we can look into, yes, that one. Yes. Sticker Mule. Okay. But that's neither here nor there. Thank you so much, everybody, for your suggestions. I need to really look into it. And I'll get with Maggie and Fonz. Unfortunately, Fonz had something important to do, and he was not able to make it, but I'll get with leadership to see what we can do. Okay. All right. The last one. And this one is an important one. Sometimes paying for college. If you went to college a while ago and you go to college right now, the cost is very different. You're pretty much in debt for life if you go to college now. That is something that is starting to be, is college really a good choice if in the end you're not going to be making that much money? Yes. It's some expensive stuff. So guess what Google did? Google has this thing called Grow with Google, and it has some special No, I'm not talking to you. My phone started talking. They have some special certificates that are almost equivalent to a bachelor's degree, with an average starting salary of $60,000, which is a lot more than I get paid as a teacher. So that is a starting salary for somebody with a certificate from Grow with Google. And I started taking one just for fun. And it's called the IT Support Fund Certificate, Fun for Fundamental. I got that one, but it's a whole course. And there's more to that than just the fundamental certificate. But pretty much going through that course, you pay the fee that is taking the course. Yes, thank you. Grow with Google. And whenever you click on that one, there's career certificates. You click on career certificates, you scroll down, and the one that I'm interested in is IT support, for example. But there's other things like data analytics, project management, UX design, and Android development. There's a cost. Normally, they are free, but they use a service called Coursera, and Coursera does charge to use their service. But Google themselves are not charging for the courses. You just have to go through the service of Coursera, who actually charges for the service. So you don't pay for the course, but you pay for the service. And it's at your own pace. Of course, the more you use the Coursera service, the more you're going to be paying, right? So, but it is still at your own pace. As far as how much, I would not know because I just got my fundamental certificate for IT support and I quit. And I did it within the 7-day trial. So I didn't continue my IT support certification. I just left it at the fund certificate. No, not everything. The whole course takes, I would have been able to finish if I took all day, like from like a normal work day through a work week. I could probably do it in 1 or 2 weeks, but it's meant to be a 6-week to 6-month course. It is not something to just complete right away. And that's and the only reason I would be able to do something like that is because I did study. That's what I went to college for. So I know some of the stuff already. I don't know the new stuff, so that's what would take me longer. But yeah, I don't think being able to finish in 7 days would be possible. But hey, you go ahead and try. It's very time consuming, especially for a teacher that is working all the time. But yeah, that certificate, it's for some students, it's going to be a lot better than actually going to college. All right, so I'm going to, that's actually time. I think we finished just in time. There was a lot to cover. So any final words? Anybody that wants to say anything, just jump in.
That Globals t-shirts, you can't actually buy them right now. So yeah, that's all. I just asked in my other Slack thing. I was like, so can we get these t-shirts? Actually, like, oh no, not right now. Actually, I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, that was just my rant of that.
Wait, what happened with the t-shirts?
No, it's because I think they had it. They organized them to be bought like for a while, but this is like old. It was like maybe a year ago. I don't know. Well, like Catherine. Like,
Yeah, they put it out. I think we were in a meeting, and in the Google group forum, they put out a link and said, hey, or if you want a shirt, order it by this time. And we filled out the form and ordered it. So I don't think it's an ongoing thing. I think it was, you had I guess that's how they managed like the price based on quantity. They knew how many people were ordering by, who filled out the form.
Okay, then I need to ask just to make sure that I'm not breaking any rules here. So I'll ask that. All right, anybody else? All right, awesome. Looks like everybody's anxious to go. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. You all are amazing. Our next meeting is going to be sometime middle of April. I haven't checked yet. We need to meet as leadership to figure that out later. But that is all. Have a good one, everybody. And see you next month.
Google Educator Group of South Texas. GEG.SOUTX.US.